In the previous episode of the International Volleyball Academy, we showed you the basics and went through the first two developmental stages of a volleyball spiker. In this episode, we will build on what you already know, so it is essential that you watch the previous episode.
Now it's the feet's turn, because the spike is not just a punch, but also a run-up to it.
The third stage of the evolution of the volleyball spiker, the jumper.
The key to a successful spike is the last two steps before the bounce. They are essential for effectively mobilizing the power needed for a good jump. For a right-handed person, this means that the penultimate step with the right foot is a long one ending over the heel with a simultaneous powerful straddle of both arms. The final step with the left foot ends with a stomp over the curled toe diagonally to the right foot.
This step rotates the body with the left side towards the net. For left-handed people, of course, everything is mirrored. The vast majority of players are right-handed, so in this video we demonstrate everything on them. To strengthen the emphasis on the curled toe, we perform a double step against the wall in the workout.
Toe curl is important because if the player does not step with the left foot over the curled toe, but over the heel, as in this case the knee points forward, as a result the center of gravity of the body also moves forward and the rebound is not to the height, but to the distance.
In simple terms, it's all about making you jump up and not into the distance with the last step.
To perfect this final step, we recommend trying this exercise with teammates. During the last step, both arms are raised above the head. The striking arm is formed in the familiar archer's position. The non-striking arm points upwards.
And one more thing, the toe curl turns the body to the left side of the net, which improves ball tracking, allows for better setting judgment, and a sharper spike.
Now that we've explained the role of the final step of the run-up, let's look at the second to last step, which increases the speed of the run-up and keeps the body's center of gravity back, which is also important for gaining energy for a powerful jump. Kids can practice this by, for example, crossing a base, a mat, or even just a line.
Even with the penultimate step, the children make many mistakes, which we will eventually eliminate. But now they complicate the spiking. They are stepping on the toe instead of the heel, or the step is short. This results in either a loss of momentum or a bounce forward instead of up again.
Please keep in mind that a long penultimate step is associated with a powerful arm swing, as here, while a shorter step often corresponds to a smaller swing, which we don't want. To reinforce proper technique in children, we use exercises involving throwing tennis balls during the swing.
And now we can finally put it all together. Run, jump, and throw. Like this 7-year-old kid. We'll start at the wall to get the balls back fast. Now let's rush to the net because we're volleyball players.
We start with a normal overball throw after a 2-step run and jump. Check the work of the non-striking arm by passing the overball from left to right in front of the body. The diagonal throw will remind us to swing the left side towards the net. And then we can play, for example, by imitating an attack against a double block, but that would be getting ahead of ourselves.
There are unpredictable situations in the game, so even the run-up doesn't always look as we described it. Sometimes it has to be modified. For example, shortened as here. But don't worry, we'll learn everything in the coming episodes.
The final stage of the evolution of the volleyball spiker, the spiker. We have discussed the double step and the correct arm and handwork when throwing. All this is necessary in the development of a future spiker, but so far somewhat mechanical. The next step is synchronizing the top of the jump with the moment of contact with the ball, so the topic of coordination and timing. It won't be spiking after the pass yet, we will still be throwing, but it will be about the player making optimal use of the kinetic energy from the run-up, transforming it into the jump and throw. Similar to the game, he has to cope with the rapid drop in height of the falling ball and hit it at the most advantageous point of the trajectory. In other words, at the point where he hits the falling ball at the highest point of the jump.
12-year-old players from Mongolia show us that it can be done at the tournament in Prague. It's not such a big science, but you need to know how to do it.
The problem is hidden in the transfer of learned technique from simple throwing to more complex movement. In the beginning, there are problems with coordination, which of course generates technical errors, which can be easily eliminated in this period. But then comes the most difficult part, the correct timing.
What Zdeněk means is that if you don't accelerate from a slow start at the end of the run, you won't get the punch you want. But don't worry, we've got 3 drills that will get you there in the end.
The player in the jump reaches for the held over ball, pulls it down in a flash to the archer's position, throws it over the net with proper technique before it drops below the level of the net. This moment is very short, and the children have difficulty with it at first, so we practice it first at the wall without the net, but gradually they adapt and speed up, which is our goal, to speed up the conclusion of the action culminating in the strike.
The time for the turning point exercise has come because it is very difficult just for coordination and timing. But despite the initial difficulties, you will gradually master this too. After the run-up, the player catches the overball thrown by the coach in the jump and tries to throw the ball very quickly in a technically correct way, that is, passing through the archer's position before it drops below the level of the net tape.
The next exercise is actually an imitation of a spike, where the player holds the overball in his left hand, releases it at about head height, tries to spike it himself, and again with the correct technique. And now that we know how to do all that, we have to make our first slam. First into the overball and maybe again at the wall, and then into a real volleyball. The important thing is that we already have a solid technique.
Girls and boys, you may have a little trouble at the beginning, but if we are consistent, the vast majority of you will make it, don't worry.
And of course, it will still take some time before these 12 to 14-year-old players will be spiking like their 4 years older teammates in the Czech junior national team jersey at the European Championships, but they are already on the right track. The last 2 steps are the most important in a spike run. The penultimate long step with the right, ending over the heel. During the penultimate step, there is a powerful backward swing of both arms. The last step with the left foot over the curled toe. During the last step, both arms rise above the head in front of the body. The kickoff is with the left hip sideways to the net. Develop mechanical throwing in more coordinated situations. Reach for the overball in the jump and make a technically correct throw before falling below the net level. Catch the falling overball in the jump and throw it quickly and technically correct. Swing at an overball held in your left hand. Spike a dead ball.
And in the next episode, we're going to spike after the set from the teammate. Even though it's going to hurt for a while, we'll get it all right in the end. You have a lot to look forward to.